On this episode of Cape Media News, we meet the MSPCA's newest adorable adoptables. The new Classics company celebrates the end of an era, and we go behind the scenes with the Brazen Belles at the Cotuit Center for the Arts. These stories and more. This is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. Thank you for joining us. The Cape Cod Commission has announced a new initiative to support local economic development on Cape Cod this week. In collaboration with the Barnstable County License Plate Grant Program and the Barnstable County Economic Development Council, the Commission is seeking proposals from local or regional government or nonprofit agencies for projects that support a resilient and sustainable regional economy. The grants will fund economic development, housing, natural resource protection, and coastal resiliency initiatives. You can visit capecodcommission.org/license plate for more information. In South Yarmouth this week, the residents of Thurwood Place continued their long-standing tradition of providing educational scholarships for staff members and their children who are seeking higher education. For the last 15 years, the senior living facility has raised money in honor of the late Miss Polly Hopkins, a former resident and art teacher from Dennis Yarmouth High School. A total of $10,000 has been awarded to 15 recipients in 2019. The new Classics company closed out their 2019 summer season and said goodbye to an era as they gave their final performance in the Geyer Art Barn last weekend in Hyannis. Located on the High Arts campus at Pearl and South Street, the Geyer Art Barn was home to the new Classics company for more than 6 years. Emily Tulloch reports.
There's a zany, quaint group of local theater artists tucked away in the Hyannis Arts District called the New Classics Company. Their purpose is to create exciting and original work with the aim of building a space for artists to explore and to engage the audience with new productions. This past weekend, they held an end-of-the-summer celebration as they bid farewell to the Geyer Art Barn, which has housed their theater organization for the past 6 years.
It was started by myself and my 2 college friends back in 2013 as a way for us to put on a production of the complete works of William Shakespeare ourselves, just as a sort of a summer activity. And then from there, we were given the opportunity by the town of Barnstable and the High Arts District to take residence in the Geyer Art Barn, here in the Geyer Art Barn. And from there, we sort of changed our outlook. We really wanted to, maybe tap into some certain parts of the local theater community, specifically more like the younger side, because there's a lot of theater here on the Cape, and a lot of it is catered towards, the greater audience. And we were thinking, maybe we can bring something new and fresh, possibly, with, our little brand of improv, audience participation, kind of quirky theater. And over the course of the past 6 years now, it's really blossomed into this really beautiful community of artists, of young people everywhere, kids, anyone in between. It's really become a beautiful little community of people creating, and it's been a beautiful space to kind of foster and encourage, the creative ideas that people have.
As New Classics Company's improv troupe has grown and evolved, they've encouraged community members to join them on stage.
For improv, we don't have typical auditions to get people in. We have them attend 2 improv fundamental workshops and then attend 2 rehearsals, and then they can participate in the shows. So these improv fundamental workshops, we typically have them on Sundays from 1 to 3, and we do the basics of improv with yes-anding, object work, scene work, and going through a few short-form games, and then they get to work with some of our usual players and get to know us and get more comfortable so that when they go out to perform that they're more confident. With the Improv Fundamentals workshop, you don't have to have previous improv experience. We have a lot of people in our troupe who just show up as a refresher to just do basics, but whether you're completely new to improv or you've been doing it for years, it's just a great level playing class where you can just come in and play. And right now we are looking for a new place. So once we find a new place, then we'll be able to do more fundamental workshops on Sundays.
In addition to providing a space for exploration and creation, they've hosted other programs and workshops to the community, often for little or no cost.
Along with kind of expanding our community, we've also expanded some programs. We've been working with homeschool students from all across the Cape, as well as there's been a lot of artist workshops we've been working on. We've been trying to touch on different mediums of art and entertainment and performance. We've had dance groups come in. We've had visual artists. We've had poets. We've had musicians. It's been a really beautiful kind of gathering space for people to come in and create their art. Now we are moving on from the Geyer Art Barn. The High Arts District and the town of Barnstable have been great to us for the past 6 years, and now we are moving out of the Geyer Art Barn. But it's going to be, I think it's a great opportunity for folks to really kind of search and find new opportunities based through this community that has been built over the years.
To find out more information on them and ways to get involved, visit New Classics Company on Facebook. In Hyannis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tellick.
The Geyer Art Barn will continue to operate within the Hyannis High Arts Cultural District as an art gallery. In the meantime, the New Classics Company is still looking for a space to call home. You can learn more about them online at newclassicscompany.org. Up next, we visit the MSPCA to meet some adorable adoptables.
Moving is exhausting. I'm glad it's almost over. One thing I take seriously is making sure that nothing that contains mercury or is toxic goes into the trash. Items like these curly bulbs, thermometers, watch batteries, and old fluorescent tubing. I even found an old jar of elemental mercury that my grandfather left behind in the shed. Less of this going into the trash means less mercury or contaminants that can get into our drinking water or the environment. With a little bit of effort, I can make a difference.
Be a groundwater guardian. Protect our local water supply. After all, it's the only one we have.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. Are you looking for a new friend? An animal friend? Well, then the MSPCA has got a friend for you. The Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals cares for cats, dogs, and critters of all kinds, all of which are in need of a loving forever home. Cape Media News visited the MSPCA Cape Cod in Centerville to get to know some of their newest adorable adoptables. Emily Tulloch reports.
Are you looking for a new pet companion? Perhaps a dog, cat, or bunny? The local animal shelter is always a great place to start. This past week, we met with the MSPCA of Cape Cod to see what adorable adoptables are currently looking for their forever family. First, we meet Acadia, a collie who came to the MSPCA after being involved in a hoarding case.
We just got 3 collies from a hoarding case in Maine, and she is one of them. So we don't have a history on her, and as you can see, she's very shy. She's just starting to learn what people are like and how to interact with us. For her, the best home for her would be with another dog. She seems to be really good friends with the other dogs in the shelter and with the other collies. So she would like to go home with another confident dog that will show her the ropes on how to be social and how to interact with us. But for now, she's fairly shy and it's really going to take a lot of time to warm up to you.
If you've ever thought about adopting a senior, look no further than Katie, a 12-year-old Cocker Spaniel.
She came to us because her owner had health issues that he was working through, so he didn't have the time to care for her as well. She just went to the groomers the other day and got all dolled up, so she's feeling great right now. She's a senior, so she's going to need a family that's willing to take on some extra medical that comes along with an old pup like her. She can't see very well, but she just wants a good retirement home and someone to curl up next to and give her some love.
Lefty is a friendly and outgoing 9-year-old cat looking for a family where she can be the only pet.
She loves to wander and check out all the other cats and hang out with us. During our closed hours, she likes to just hang out in this room and wander around. She'll sit and watch me clean and observe, making sure I'm doing a good job. She's pretty petite. She's 9 years old, but she's only, I believe, 5 or 6 pounds. She's a little girl. She's super sweet, super loving, loves to cuddle. She needs to go to a home with no other animals. She doesn't get along with cats or dogs, and she has a history of self-mutilating and pulling out her own hair due to stress from being around an environment with cats and dogs. So she needs a really low-key home, not a bunch of activity, not a bunch of stress, but just a couple of people that will just give her the love attention that she deserves and adores.
Bunnies make great companions with their curious and kind personalities. Butter is a mini Rex looking for a special home to tend to her health condition.
She needs a really special home. She's super sweet and obviously super adorable, as you can see. However, she has a condition where her teeth grow too fast. Most bunnies, their teeth continue growing their whole lives, and the way they chew tears it down. However, hers can't be controlled, so she needs to go to a home that's willing to take on the extra veterinary care, because she's going to have to go to a home where she goes to a vet every couple of months probably in order to get those teeth trimmed down, which can cost a lot of money, and the care for her could cost as much as a cat or a dog. So she needs someone that's really willing to put in that extra work and has the finances and ability to make sure her teeth don't overgrow. She's a great bunny. She likes other bunnies. She likes affection, and she's super sweet.
If you're interested in adopting one of these animals, or to see who else is in need of a new home, visit the MSPCA.org. In Centerville, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tulloch.
And if you're interested in learning about any of the adorable adoptables you just saw, or just want to visit the MSPCA for yourself, you can learn more online at MSPCA.org. Up next, we go behind the scenes with Brazen Belles Burlesque.
Nobody wants to litter. Sometimes it just happens. But it's easy to stop trash from turning into litter. Together, if we're all just a little more careful, we can achieve a litter-free Cape Cod. For more information, visit nocapelitter.org.
The temperatures might be cooling down as summer draws to a close, but it's still sizzling hot at the Cotuit Center for the Arts, where Cape Cod's only burlesque troupe, the Brazen Belles, are performing their 8th annual Summer Striptacular. For nearly a decade, the Brazen Belles have wowed audiences with their flirtatious, rowdy, and comedic stage antics. I got a chance to go behind the scenes while they were preparing for opening night. Take a look. I'm here at the Cotuit Center for the Arts with Hyannis Hirschfield, founder and creator of the Brazen Belles Burlesque. Hyannis, tell me a little bit about the Brazen Belles.
Yeah, so the Brazen Belles are a Cape Cod burlesque troupe. We're the only burlesque troupe on Cape Cod, and we formed in 2011 and have been performing ever since.
Tell me about what you do. What are your acts? What do they entail?
All of our acts entail beautiful women strutting their stuff and taking their clothes off, and comedy and singing and, you know, basically anything that your mind can create that you want to put on the stage.
And it's your creation, though. You guys choreograph and design your own costumes?
Yes, the Brazen Belles do that. We create our own costumes, we create our own acts, like pretty much most burlesque acts. Burlesque performers, they, you know, use their mind and creativity to come up with what they want to come up with.
Right, and I mean, that could be news to a lot of our viewers because, as you know, burlesque is not really a thing in our area. I mean, you are the only burlesque troupe. So tell me a little bit about how you guys make it work. Is this a full-time career?
It is not a full-time career. I wish it was. I did, for the first 2 years, really just focus only on the Brazen Belles, and we were doing a lot more shows. And I found that in order for it to not be oversaturated with burlesque, because, you know, people here really want something new every single time they see a show, and in order for us to do that and to have it be quality, we needed to separate our shows a little bit. So now we do it about 4 times a year, so it's not a full-time career, but it is in the sense of my brain. My brain is working full-time.
Tell me about your new members. Why was it important for you to grow your team?
It's important for me to grow my team because I'm always constantly wanting to show diversity in our troupe, and also when we have a smaller group of girls, which we have had for the last 3 years, it was lovely and wonderful, but it also doesn't allow for anyone to really be able to take a break. So for those 2 reasons specifically is why I decided to grow it bigger.
I think that's wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to talking to some of your new members. Just behind this curtain, the Brazen Belles are getting ready for their show, some of them for the very first time.
My name is Elin Hirsch. My stage name is Treat. It was early this spring, I think it was in February, but we've been rehearsing every week since then, and so this is our first show as the new ensemble.
My stage name is Poppy Daydream, so this is my first show as an actual belle, and my last show as a stage belle was the Valentine's Day show, or Valentines.
I'm so pumped to be with them. This is my 5th year with the Belles, and yeah, it just gets better every year. We're all like getting to know each other, we're vibing, we're finding our flow, so it's awesome. I'm excited because they're all so great, they're all so talented. Yeah, this is gonna be a big one just because we have 3-4 new girls, so I mean, yeah, it's exciting. And then we have like amazing features. I don't know, there's always something different every show, so I'm super psyched.
It's something, you know, I feel like burlesque, not a lot of people know what it is, you know, and it's hard to kind of describe it to people. It's an art form, and it's about representing like the female body, or, you know, male body as well, but taking it in a way that it's being represented, that you're not paying attention to what's being removed for clothing. You know, you're being presented with the actual art form, the performance of it. It goes beyond just removing clothing.
I mean, it's incredible. All the hard work that has gone into this for an amazing show. It's a great time, and I feel that it's kind of stepping outside your comfort zone. Like, come see burlesque, it's amazing.
I mean, it's kind of like the close out of the summer, so what better way than with us? I mean, we bring the laughs, we bring the fun. It's exciting, kind of gets you shaking your butt a little bit and clapping, and it's just a fun way to end the summer with us.
So what's next for Brazen Belles?
Hopefully a festival, a Cape Cod Burlesque Festival, first ever burlesque festival. That's next on the horizon.
Would you ever consider being in a musical?
Absolutely. Yes.
Good,
I went to school for acting in musical theaters.
I dream of making a musical with you guys.
My God, that'd be so fun.
So just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Break a leg tonight.
Thank you so much.
You can catch the Brazen Belles Summer Striptacular this weekend through the 31st of August at the Cotuit Center for the Arts. In Cotuit, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson. If you'd like to see the Brazen Belles for yourself, their show runs through the end of August. You can get your tickets at artsonthecape.org. Well, that brings this week's episode of Cape Media News to a close. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook, and thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week with a very special Best of Summer Back to School episode. With Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.